Morning, everybody. It's been a couple days since we've done a drum stream, so I'll actually talk about that here in a moment. But before we do that, we're gonna get motivated with some Shia LaBeouf. And before we do that, I'm gonna talk to you about what this stream is about. So in these streams, I like to just kind of share like what I'm practicing, how I'm trying to get better as a drummer. Today, I'm just gonna be chopping out, just kind of having some fun, answering some questions and whatnot, and talking a little bit about why I'm wearing this bucket hat, as well as why I got some other stuff on the drum pad right here. But if you want to see like the prior streams where I'm actually like trying to refine things, trying to improve, you can check out here this playlist of the drum practice streams. It's got like timestamps in here, so it shows you like what I was doing for how long. Like I was working on isolated diddles for that huge chunk right there, and then I talked about what I work on to get better. And then I talked about why are DCI lines unmusical, which was a question that I got from the chat, etc. So you can check out the timestamps in there, and that can help you figure out what might be an interesting spot to look at. If you want to see like where I respond to questions in an edited format, this playlist has over 8 hours of drumming tips in here where I just like respond to questions and whatnot in the chat, and we'll put them into these edited videos. The ones that say members first are scheduled to release publicly in the future. This one's coming out on tomorrow, and then the following one comes out next Friday. So a new one will come out every Friday. At least that's the plan, at least. And if you go to the link at the top of the screen, jaredoleary.com/drum, this is where you can find all of the literally thousands of free play-alongs, drumming tips, etc. We got all those grid variations, chop exercises, drum charts, which one released this morning, marching bass stuff, technique exercises, and then here are the playlists that are just showing you the drum practice streams and the drumming tips, blah, blah, blah. But before we do all of that, we're going to get motivated with Shia LaBeouf, and because of copyright, I'm going to hide him. He's there in spirit. Here we go. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. Super motivated. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, yeah. Look at that flex. Ooh, thanks, Shia. We are super motivated now. We're going to be drumming here in a minute. But before we get into that, I want to actually talk about why I'm wearing this bucket hat. So first of all, I can actually share you a quick story. So many years ago, I was invited to this like summit where we were talking about this concept in computer science known as computational thinking. And so we were talking about like, do we need to define it as a field, and like what kind of resources do we need to use to like help educators, like K-12 educators and collegiate educators understand how to apply this in the classroom, blah, 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 blah. And I happened to have a flight that was leaving at a similar time with like this like super senior researcher. And so I shared an Uber with him. And when I was in the Uber, we were just kind of like talking research because my background's in research and whatnot, part of my background. And one of the things that he said is that you should find a way to publish anything. If you sneeze, you should be able to publish on it. And like, he didn't mean that literally. What he was basically saying is like, you can share not just the completed results, but also the in-process things, as well as like things that you learned that didn't work or things that you learned that did work, etc. So if you are a kind of person who like creates stuff, whether it's like academic scholarship, which was the context we were talking about, or like content creation, like what I do here now, all of these things can be used in different ways if you share different aspects of it. So for example, I had a very minor, they removed basal cells from my scalp the other day. And when I was removing that, I was like thinking, okay, I might be able to actually turn this into a positive thing, kind of like my tattoo here. So like when it starts to rain, being able to turn this into a positive. So I can share like lessons that I've kind of been thinking about related to like drumming and your long-term health. So that way you also don't have to have like skin cancer or eye cancer, which we'll talk about, all sorts of other stuff, which thankfully I don't have that. Just some simple basal cells. So everything's good. I'm fine. But the moral of the story is things that happen to you in your life can be used as lessons if you look at it from different angles, different frameworks, and you can use that to help people or to create content or whatever it is that you end up doing in your life. But let me pull up something because I just like took some notes. We'll talk about this. Okay. So I have been drumming for 26 years, and being in part of the activity, especially like in drumline, it can take a toll on your body. So if you think about like technique, if you have really tight technique, it can have a profoundly negative impact on your hands. You could get tendonitis, you could get carpal tunnel, you could get like, I got a popped blood vein one time because I had really tight technique. Like all sorts of bad things can happen to your body. You don't want that to happen to you. There are some other things that aren't necessarily talked about enough, in my opinion, in the field that can have like about how drumming can have a negative impact on your body. So like one thing that people do talk about is if you're doing all days, like in drum corps or something like that, where you are outside drumming, wearing sunscreen can help you to prevent some skin cancer. But another thing that I don't see enough people doing is wearing like wide-brimmed hats, so that way it keeps the sun off of your body as an extra protective thing. But another thing that I don't hear enough people talking about is also the fact that when you're drumming, you should be wearing some like UV protection if you're outside all day, every day. And one of the reasons why is because like if you think about the drum rims, like the shininess of them, like the chrome, it can actually bounce off into your eyes. So you're getting some UV not only coming from the sun, but also reflecting off of your drums or even your heads, etc. And you can actually get cancer in the eye from that UV going in there. So if you wear sunscreen, that's great for your skin. If you wear a hat, that's great for your skin. But if you wear sunglasses as well, that can be really beneficial for your eyes in terms of keeping them healthy and whatnot. Another thing that I wish more people did is wear earplugs. I wore them all the time as a performer and all the time as an educator. Part of that is because I have this like weird, like supersonic hearing, quite literally, where I can hear bats, like at that kind of frequency. So for me, loud sounds get amplified because of the ears, right? No. It has nothing to do with that. Although I got plenty of comments from people online about it. So earplugs, highly recommend wearing these if you want to be able to like continue to drum, you know, when you're my age. Go with this. This will help you out in the long run. If you play drum kit, one of the things that I like to use are these like Vic Firth headphones. You can plug them in with an audio jack. They do have a Bluetooth version as well now. But with the audio jack, you can plug into like a drum module or whatever, like even your phone, so you can listen to music while you're playing. And it muffles the sound, but doesn't completely isolate it out like if you're using like some sound isolating earbuds. So that way you can still hear your drumming on top of whatever it is you're listening to. So I would do this not only for drum kit, which you see me doing on like the drum kit streams, but back when I taught drumline, we'd give this to the center snare so that they would listen to like a metronome or music or whatever, and they would use this to be able to still hear their playing and stay in time, and the whole line had to listen to them rather than the doctor beat, which doesn't actually train you to listen into the center. The doctor beat trains you to listen into the doctor beat. So this makes it so that only the center snare or center tenor or whatever can hear it, instructor, whoever is going to be using them. So I highly recommend that to protect your ears and whatnot. Another thing that I highly recommend is like the stretching and massaging that you'll see me do here in a little bit, just to keep your hands nice and healthy. But also physical conditioning is a great thing. Like marching in particular can do quite a toll on your knees depending on the technique that you're doing. So if you do like what's something called Sisyphus squats or sissy squats, if you do those, that can help out with your knees. All sorts of conditioning can help with that. But then there's also like the toll of like rehearsing all day and every day. Meditation can kind of like press like F5 mentally refresh on your brain. So I highly recommend that as well. So don't just think about like how drumming can have a negative toll or impact on like your hands, but also think about, well, what about your skin? What about your eyes? What about your ears? What about your just like muscles, like especially like your back? If you were wearing like tenors or like a lower bass or even snare, I mean, like that can have a profound impact on your shoulders and your lower back, etc. So really pay attention to a wide range of things when you are thinking about your long-term health, so that way you can continue to drum when you are my age, if that's something that you want to do. Now, another thing that I want to point out is that not only should students be doing this, but also instructors. Instructors really need to model these kinds of positive behaviors for lifelong engagement in the activity, because you're kind of setting the vibe and the tone for everybody, as well as like the expectations and the habits that students will try and replicate from you. So even if you're not explicitly stating it, if you are just like putting on sunscreen in front of students and putting in earbuds in front of students, like that can help motivate them to, or help them realize, oh, that's actually something that I should be doing as well if I want to continue to do this for a long time. So a little pro tip there. And one of the reasons why I'm talking about this now is because I had a little bit of small amount of basal cells removed. And again, going back to what I was saying earlier, any moment in your life can turn into some kind of a lesson that you can share with other people. And so those are things that I don't think enough people are talking about in percussion that I want to just kind of share with you. So hopefully that can help you out as well with your own playing, so you can continue to do this for a long time. But today we're just going to be chopping out and just kind of having fun getting the hands going. Tomorrow I'll get back into just like working on technique and whatnot. I'm not going to be doing drum kit for a while, just because I don't want to wear those headphones when I'm playing on it, because I don't want to like aggravate the site that had the little scalp removed. But anyways, let's see. So we're going to get the hands going. We'll stretch and massage, and then I'll just keep playing some more chop stuff. Let's warm up with some flam drags. Let me turn up the volume. So we're going to do float drags with flam drags. So there's 8 variations in here. And this one, ooh, it's a little loud. You can jump to timestamps in the description to go to whatever BPM you want. We're going to go ahead and warm up at 140. We'll play this through a few times, and then we'll stretch and massage. Let me actually turn the volume down a little bit. Apparently this was loud. Whoopsies. Check something real quick. Alright, cool. I have a program minimized. I want to make sure everything was good with the audio, because it'll work fine here, and then the program will mess up with no warning. Like, I can obviously hear the audio on here, but then it's like no sound in the program. So I just had to check the levels. True story. Wow, good one. I know. Ew. Man, my hands are feeling it. Last rep. Sweet. Let's stretch and massage. Man, my left hand is very tired. The reason why is because of today was heavy day for my workout. So 6 days a week, I do the same full body workout routine. So it has to do with like conditioning, kind of taking the farmer strength approach, or if you do the same thing every day, or like a gymnast approach, etc. If you do the same thing every day, then it can really help with your conditioning. And the last day, on Thursday for me, the 6th day, I do a heavy day, and my left hand was like, while holding the weights, having some difficulty today. It's like, I don't know about this. If you do traditional rotate and hold one end of the extreme and the other as well, I don't do that anymore, so I'm not going to do that. All right, so now we're going to stretch the underside of the forearm. You could do it like that. Oh, that feels great. You could do it on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper stretch. We'll just go ahead and do it on the pad today. Don't put all your weight into it. Boop, doop, 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 doop. And up. Now, the stretch on the top side of the forearm. Could do it that way. You could do it on the wall, but the higher you go, the deeper the stretch. I'll do that one tomorrow. But today, I'm going to do it on the pad. Like this. Speaking of, like, working out and whatnot, it's funny, like, hearing people who are, like, not drummers, like, talk about drumming, like, oh, you gotta have big muscles for drumming. Like, no. Most of the best drummers that I can think of are little people in terms of their muscle size. Like, look at snare lines in particular. They got hands for days. They are not super strong. We're stretching thumb to thumb. Sister's gone twice as fast. Stretching the fingers. It's funny, like, the misconceptions that people have about things that they haven't tried. And it makes me wonder, like, what do I have that is, like, similar, that I'm just like, I think this thing, but if I actually did it, I'd realize I was wrong. Ooh, this is a good one. Like, I saw one the other day about, I saw on Reddit, somebody was talking about, like, why are there bad band directors and whatnot. And they're like, oh, it has to do with teacher pay, right? And I was like, no, actually. The whole system that's set in place that causes that. I'll rant about that on another day, but it is the teacher preparation program and, like, the constraints that get put on it. You only have a certain number of credits that you can do, and you have to learn every single band and orchestra instrument and take, like, vocal lessons, etc. But that's why you come out as a generalist who can't really do all the things, even though you're certified to do it. We're now going to massage the palm with the thumb, and then the fingers massage the back of the hand. Just trying to get nice and relaxed. Then we'll go back into playing. We'll start the drum streams to be more regular again. I didn't stream yesterday because, like, they cauterized the wound on the head, and, like, I had this big old, like, white, like, gauze patch, like, pressure patch, and it just looked funny. And I was like, I'll just go with this large Band-Aid. It's a bit larger than I need, comically large. So we didn't stream, and then the other day I didn't stream because I was just getting, like, the surgery done. I guess it's technically a surgery. Not really. The skin removal. But we'll be back now. I finished a whole bunch of edits for gaming stuff, so there'll be the Iron Bread edits. Those will be coming out next week, I think. And then shortly after that, the Minecraft edits will come out as well. I'll release those members first. Just for people who are members who want it early, you get it. But I'm not going to have anything behind a paywall, like all these play-alongs and whatnot. If it says members first, don't worry, it's scheduled to release, but we got stuff scheduled in through January at the moment. Some into February, too. Let's play faster. So we're going to play through this one rep and then jump up like 10, 15 clicks. Play one rep. Keep doing that over and over until we chop out. as always, you can go to the timestamp, jump to whatever you want. Let's go up. We'll go up to 160. So we'll go up by 15 for this one, and then the next ones we'll just go up by 10 at a time until my hands burst into flames. This is not how I recommend you practice. Again, we're just chopping out today. This is just if you're having fun, this is how you could practice it. Otherwise, just go one click at a time. Start off slow. This can go as slow as 40. But some of the play-alongs can go as slow as 20 if they're like 16th note based. So like again, we could go to 40 if we wanted to. But no, we're going to 170. Thank you for the like on YouTube. Woo! Mm-hmm. 180. I get an itchy nose when I do these drumming streams in the morning. Why? I don't know. My nose is weird. Mm-hmm. 190. This will probably be the breaking point. Normally I'd go up to 200, but I don't think that's happening today. Not with my left hand being all tired from my workout. Lifted too heavy today. Which is a good thing. Push yourself. Yep, that's the breaking point for this morning. Every day will be different. Some days I'll be able to play faster than other days when it comes to your breaking point. Again, because of my workout, we're playing slower today. That's okay. Also, these heavy sticks don't help. They're great for building chops and endurance, though. So again, that was float drags. There's 7 more variations in there. The float drag is the 5-lip pattern. So if you think of Flam drags, Flam drags as 3-note pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The 5-note pattern, where you put a diddle on the 4th note. That one. You can do it with cheeses, so or float 5s. So that's why there's several variations in there for the float tracks. Let's see here. Let's play through. I don't know what I want to play this morning. Maybe a grid variation. So there's like 372 triplet ones. For just Flam 5, there's 24 of them. Most of them are like standard, like you put it on 1, you put it on 2, you put it on 3. But if you scroll down a little bit, you can also see like Flam 5 on the accents, or Flam 5 before an accent, or Flam 5 after an accent. There's some kind of wacky stuff in here. And then if you scroll down further, there's even wackier where it's like every 4 notes or every 5 notes. And then it gets into like 2 accent versions, which is extra wacky. But let's do Flam 5 on accents, which is moving the Flam 5 with the accent pattern. So this is different than what you'd normally do, like at the top, where it's Flam 5 on 1. No, we're not playing it at 40. Thanks, though. Let's go at 130. Hello, how you doing today? Oh, turn it up. It's weird, my like thumb came off the stick. Whoopsies. How am I? I'm good. I'm good. Glad to be back. How are you doing? By the way, there's a huge delay on Instagram. It's like at least 30 seconds. Last time I checked. Yeah, so if you got like Flam 5 patterns you want to work on that just have different accent variations and whatnot, this is a great way to work on it. Just put the Flam 5 on the accent rather than stationary when you're going through grid. There's also a 16th note version of this that you could do if you are so inclined to do so. 150. How's it going to go? Nobody knows. I will know in about 30 seconds. Yeah. Interesting. Sorry, looking at the Instagram chat. It's weird. It's funny how, so I've got like YouTube, 2 different YouTube chats, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch up. But like they all have like different options on there and I like forget which one allows me to do what. Oh, my hands. They're so slow this morning. That was our breaking point. Let's do Flam 5 on 1. So this will be the normal version of grid that you would do. To like work on different accent permutations. Highly recommend it. So the Flam 5 will be stationary, but the accent will shift like it was just doing. Enjoy that ASMR. That's why you're here. For the asthma. Okay. Flam 5 on 1. Let's, sure, 120. Sounds great. Sounds great. That was 120. Okay, so 130. 130. Right there. It's so tired. Shouldn't have done a heavy lift day on the day when I'm back drumming after a few days off. Come on, you can do it, hands. Believe in yourself. Do it. Mm-hmm. 150. Too fast, too furious. Go. There we go. Sometimes the clicks don't work, or sometimes it does work, but it doesn't put you back up. Speaking of clicks not working, we'll see if the clicks work when we play some Fortnite here in a little bit. The game's been less buggy than previous seasons, which, you know, is great. It's nice to play a game that doesn't give you a fake reload. So you go to use your gun and it has nothing. Or it starts reloading while you're in the middle of firing it. It's like, wait, what? And I get it. Programming's hard. I taught computer science for years. Literally millions of teachers and students have used the computer science resources I made at the previous nonprofit I worked at. But it doesn't mean it's okay for you to release something that's like half cooked. We'll get salmonella from it. Alright, so that was just a couple of Flam 5 variations. Again, there's 24 Flam 5 variations for just triplet. But if we go down to here, there's 372 that are just for triplet. And then there's 513 that are just for 16th note. So if you want to work on Flam 5s in 16th note variations, there's 26 videos there for that. And again, the members' first ones are scheduled to release publicly. Nothing will be behind a paywall. It's just there's like 160 some odd that are scheduled every day. So I was like, let's just make it early access if you want it. Let's see here. What do I want to play? We're just chopping out again. Let's chop out with stick control. The advanced one with filler. This one's my favorite one. So it goes between duple and triple feel with the filler. So first line is duple, second line is triple, and it just keeps alternating between them. And this one gets rough. It's a good one. Used to do this variation with the last high school that I taught at. It's a fun one. Let's start off at 100. Boop. So it starts off normal, and then by measure 3, it's like, wait, what? Man, I feel like it was yelling at me. Let's turn that down a little bit, thanks. So loud. Okay. Now let's try it at 110. So again, this variation is great. So you're playing the same sticking pattern, you're just filling in the notes, the interior notes. So I'll play it a little wacky so you can kind of hear that better. But the right hand, you're playing this. So it's the same thing, and then you do a triplet version, and then it goes to do a new pattern. Now, you could treat this as like 4-4 going into 3-4 if you wanted to. with marking time with it, but instead, like I mentioned, the last drumline that I taught, like played this, and so when we mark time to it, we'd be playing the 16th note part, 1, 2, with our foot. Okay, so that was where the foot would line up, and then when we got to the triplet, we'd actually switch over to the triple feel, so... and then go back into... so that kind of like messed with your brain a little bit, switching back and forth between that duple and triple, while maintaining the consistent 16th note speed the entire time. You're just changing whether you're going or... etc. But it's a good one. I like it. If I do say so myself, as the person who wrote it. There's also a filler version that's just 16th note, so it doesn't go between the duple and the triple feel. And then there's also a version that is just the triplet version with filler, so it basically plays all these patterns without the 16th note feel to it, the 4/4 feel. Let's do 115. Again, we're just chopping out, just having fun this morning. Might play 1 or 2 more exercises. Stay tuned, we'll find out. Ew. Late. Yeah, my left hand is really acting up this morning. I'm blaming it on the workout. When I was like, almost failed my grip while holding heavy dumbbells. That would have been bad. The floor would not have appreciated that if I dropped it. We saved it though, at the cost of my drumming today. Well, yeah, it's interesting. Like, that's my breaking point today. It's like 10 clicks slower than when I usually break at. But my hand, when I was playing it, like, I was using incorrect technique with it, where I was stopping the stick low rather than just letting it continue to, like, rise up. Like, let's say, what would that be? Measure 2 of the 3rd line. When you're playing slow, that pattern, you want your stick to come off so that when you're playing fast, it doesn't go and stop down here. You want natural rebound for it to come back off of the head, but I wasn't doing that, and it was impacting the playing. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. Now, this is one of 9 variations of stick control. There's normal, there's swung version, there's the filler version, which is just the 16th note version, and then there's also this thing called skeleton. So skeleton is you can treat it as a timing exercise as written, or you can play normal stick control on top of the skeleton, and it only allows you to hear the hand-to-hand transitions. So it forces you to kind of focus on that more, so that can help clean up your hand-to-hand transitions. If that's an issue for like the drumline that you're working with, try out skeleton, like playing along to that, or even playing it as written. So again, here's what it looks like, so you can kind of see. It's like, wait, how's the stick control? It looks like a timing exercise. Yeah, technically, but if you play it filled in, instead of like that, the way it's written on measure 2, that's how you can help with that. But in the description, it kind of talks about that, how you can do that. Anyways, those are some of the technique stuff. There's 134 technique exercises. But we're going to chop out with a chop exercise. There's 54 of those. Let's see here. Let's do... Let's go with my favorite. Nope, I don't think 130 is in the books for that. Let's do... Are you only capable of typing one word at a time? Let's start off at 100, actually. This is called a drum stream. Welcome. Today we're just chopping out, but normally I share how I practice, how I improve, and respond to questions in chat. So this is 5-4 Velvet Night Shopping Spree. And now we're going to go faster. If this already is too fast for you, you can slow this one down to 20. That's slow. But let's go faster. We're going to chop out. And then I'm going to get ready for some Fortnite. Short stream. Flawless victory. My like stick rolled on me. It was weird. A little too relaxed, I think. All right, this is gonna be the breaking point for today. I don't think 130 is happening. That's our normal chop out point, but not today, folks. Not today. We're a little slow. Sweet. Again, you can slow this down to 20 or go as fast as 160, and literally every BPM in between. Just use the timestamps in the description. There are 54 chop exercises linked up here. If you don't want to go to my website where it's organized neatly, you can go to YouTube under the Home tab, and it's got playlists under the drumming header. Just click the drumming one, and it'll expand it. Otherwise, it'll also show you all the gaming stuff and the computer science stuff, etc. Thank you for the sub on TubeU. Speaking of YouTube. These are all the chop exercises for the moment. These are 372 triplet grid variations, 513 16th note grid variations, 36 timing exercises for drum kit or margin bass if that's what you do. There's 55 drum charts. In fact, one of them became public this morning. If it says members first, it's scheduled to release, so don't worry, it'll come out soon. 166 marching bass stuff, 134 technique exercises. Every single one of the drum streams where I actually practice is in this playlist. And again, timestamps will show you, like, here's what I practiced, here's what I worked on. We'll resume that tomorrow. Today was just getting the hands, like, the blood flowing again. Whoops. And whenever I respond to, like, questions in the chat. I put them in this playlist. There's over 8 hours of free tips and whatnot in there. There's also a drumming dictionary, hundreds of words. If you're like, what is a clochetta? It's a Chinese block, which is also the French version is bloc de bois. I probably completely mispronounced that, etc. So you can check that out there. It can help you out with your concert percussion rep. And if you want to see the sticks and pads I'm using, click on that link, and it takes you to some books I recommend. Scroll down a little bit. Here are the heads that I use, the cymbals that I use on drum kit to not annoy neighbors. These are the pads I'm playing on. And the sticks I'm using are these, the chop ones, the Hardeman hammers. They're really good for working on endurance, chops, etc. That's what I use in all my streams. But I'm going to call it here. If you enjoy this content, share it with somebody else. Today was kind of just a chill chop stream. Tomorrow we'll resume answering more questions and drumming some more. But I appreciate everybody stopping by, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. But I'm going to get ready for some Fortnite.